I have a question. How do you start to even give love a chance? I'm an avoidant, dismissive, I believe. A part of me would love to be with a soulmate material, yet another part of me just screams, forget all that. I've been with too many disappointments, yet knowing myself, I can't really say it was all just their fault. I've had people try to love me and I just keep pushing them away. I think I need help getting over indifference, if that makes sense. But I'm not getting any younger, and I'm beginning to fear the possibility I may eventually be tired of being alone. And again, I think it's a kind of indifference, but I think it may go on for longer if I let it. And then I'll be this lonely 50-year-old talking to himself in the park. Anyone have insight to share? I've been comfortably single for a while, and I'm sure it'll eventually run out. And then where do you go from there? There's a lot going on here. There's kind of a lot to unpack here, but the thing that I would say is this kind of goes back to what I was saying about boredom. You know, that the idea, well, there's indifference there. That's kind of a blanket thing that it seems like you're covering up over something else. I'm beginning to fear the possibility that I may eventually be tired of being alone. I might venture to say you may already be. And part of saying that eventually I will be is kind of a way of separating yourself from that. And then you're afraid of, okay, so there's a lot of fear. I've been comfortably single for a while and I'm afraid it will eventually run out. So that's not really comfortably single, is it? Because you're single fearing the end of being single. So it's not actually comfortably single. Okay, so when someone posts a comment like this, just for those of you that respond, be careful with being judgy, because I understand that you may be triggered. However, if I ever want to heal, it'll only happen with someone secure. And as far as I'm concerned, constantly scanning assures quality. Well, there's your problem right there. Okay. So constantly scanning is a fear-based thing. Also, constantly scanning suggests that you are carrying a high level of perfectionism around. They must only be secure. Okay, so I talked about this in another video, and I'll kind of talk about it again. These are all dynamic states of being. Okay, so there's no like light at the end of the tunnel. There's no perfect, secure partner that's going to make you happy, that's going to make you want to come out from your shell. Okay, this is a pretty classically avoidant fantasy, that there's some perfect partner out there that's just going to fill you up and is going to sweep away all your fears about relationships and is going to make you see and understand the benefits of being in a relationship, and it's all going to go well and you're not going to be challenged in any way to feel uncomfortable, or they're not going to have any flaws and all of that. So there's a layer of this is the function of avoidance, which is it sort of defensively puts a layer of all of that all over everything so that it keeps you, in essence, isolated and safe. I mean, it's a protection mechanism. I think I do have a level of perfection. Yes, you do. But to me, it's not unreasonable. Okay, so that's a rationalization. Then again, my style of attachment isn't a secure one. So, I mean, you have insight into that. Incidentally, I'm not saying that you can't want things in partnership. I mean, we all can want things in partnership, but part of the process is saying, this is what I want, and so this is how I'm going to step into being the change I want to see, being the partner I want to call in, right? Do you want to call in a partner that's constantly scanning you for flaws? Do you think they would find them? Now, okay, so I think what's happening is perfectionism is an interesting thing, because perfectionism keeps us safe, right? Perfectionism prevents you from climbing too high that you're going to fall too far. Perfectionism says you can't take that first step unless it's perfect, because if it's perfect, then there's no possible way we could get hurt. And perfectionism stems from fear. So a lot of what you're expressing here on the feed is fear. tremendous amount of fear, and also a perfectionist voice. So I would ask you, who judged you so harshly? Whose standards did you not live up to? In what way has that kept you isolated from really feeling connected to the playful side of you? Where's the part of you that can be flawed and messy? Can you allow yourself to be flawed and messy and playful and just, yeah, we're all a bunch of fucked up weirdos, and isn't this great? Can't I find another fucked up weirdo to be fucked up and weird with? Like, wouldn't that be awesome? Like, just let it out, just let it out. Fear, it's so constricting. It's so constricting. And I might even invite you just like the exercise we just did. We went in and we looked at boredom and that layer of like, oh, I don't know if this is working for me, because as like this fuzzy, foggy blanket on top of the things that you're avoiding facing, usually about yourself. And so and then worry, I know it's going to end. So you're even in this state that you think is comfortable, but you're constantly worrying about the end of it. So you're not actually fully present even in the enjoyment of being in your physical state, of your single state, right? So you gotta let the fear go. And fear is really tied to the root chakra. It's actually the shadow aspect of the root chakra, and it's super early. It's early childhood. It's like infancy early. And so I would actually, I would have you scroll through the feed, and it was just posted today, I believe. I just made a video, 2 of 5, 7 body boundaries. Okay. I do an experiential towards the end of that film that has you activate the root chakra. So I would highly, highly, highly recommend for you in particular, that if you're operating from a fear-based place, that you watch that video and you do the experiential. It's the difference between having insight into something and feeling differently, okay? So watch the video for the information, yes, but do the experiential, because once you become embodied, that's when you start to see real shifts. And that's when your perfectionism is going to loosen the chokehold that it has on your inner child and on your availability to other people, okay?